In this video, I'm going to talk about how I end up buying this rear camera after 30 years of using Nikon camera gears. So beginning, this actually my first camera. It's a Nikon FN2. It's very famous for the rugged use. I buy it when I first began to study the design and I need to learn the photography. And it's around 30 years ago. That's around 80s and early 90s. So people still using the film camera. And this is the most rugged one and a little bit cheaper compared to the automatic camera. And our school teacher recommended this camera because it's got all the professional function, but relatively cheap, and you can learn all the camera function for the menu because everything is a menu on here. It's only got a meter, so you can measure the exposure. And later on, I got the F90X, which I have already sold. And later on, I got a F4. It's a little bit more professional. I also think this is still the best looking Nikon camera for the design. It's actually designed by a very famous designer for who is designing the Lamborghini, the sports car. And after I go to work, later on, digital cameras are beginning to merge. And also I got to buy the D1X, the first mainstream Nikon DSLR camera. Actually, the first one is the D1H, but that one is only low resolution mainly for the journalists, professional journalists. And the D1X is the first one is quite high resolution for the time. And after the D1X, I got the D2X, and later on the D3S and D3X. And in between, I got D80 and D300, so on. And this one is later on, my hobby for the photography is dying out, and I got too busy for my work, so I haven't selling most of my gear. And later on, I just buy this D600 for the general use, also because it can take the high-end HD video. So this is mainly the one I use for my early YouTube video, mainly shooting by this camera. And later on, when I turn to the 4K video, actually this video is shooting from the Sony A7RIII. I also have been considered, I need to switch to the Sony because Sony is more strong on the video side. And actually, when Nikon released the Z7 and the Z6, I also have been convinced that I still like because I got some Nikon lens, so I still considering the Nikon. But when after looking the price, Nikon D850 and also Nikon Z7, and the price is not so competitive. I also considered the Sony A7III with similar price, but there's a lot of rumors for Sony. They were going to release the new camera soon, so I just maybe want to wait for the camera. So I think I also compared the price. The Sony one is similar to the Nikon D850 and also Nikon Z7. So on that time, I just starting to look all kind of camera. Also, I have a lot in the movie when I was young, so I think about to move into the kind of cinema camera, so I can pursue more of my hobby in the cinema kind of things. Also for the video editing. And one camera catch my eyes, the Blackmagic similar 4K pocket camera, but that camera is not available because it's a lot of pre-order. The price good. Then somebody recommend me to look at the Nikon E2 because this camera compared to the cinema 4K pocket, Blackmagic 4K pocket, the price a little bit expensive than the pocket 4K, but this camera got the ability to show the raw data. The frame rate can reach to the 160 frames per second. It's got the same micro four thirds sensor as the pocket 4K of the Blackmagic, and it's quite small in compared to size, and it can be put on the gimbal, small size gimbal. I will show you on the next video. This is a Nikon E2 cinema camera. Actually, I can say it's my first cinema camera. It's got a 4K 120 frames per second. Actually, by the recently firmware update, it can be go up to 160 frames per second. So it's a very good of deal. Let's see. Open it up. It's got quite a nice package. Quick instruction guide, warranty card, and English quick start guide. Let's pull this aside, and here's the camera. It's got quite a thick foam package. Here's the camera. You can see it's got quite a small LCD on the top. Recording button. I don't know it's a microphone or heat ventilation. On the back, there's quite a lot of port. This is a Wi-Fi. This is a network jack. This can be connected to the network, and USB-C. This is for the power. And on the side, quite a lot of the screw can be fixed. This one should be the memory card. Headphone jack and the microphone jack, and some fun button is on-off button. It's actually using this kind of the battery is very popular for the Sony NPF battery. It's quite popular for the lighting we use. So I can just pop one in. I think I can turn it on now. Hold it for some time, it can be lights up, it's power on. I think I need to gotta study it to get know better of the manual system. I think it's quite complicated. Let's turn it off. Put this aside. See what else do we have inside the box. Whole lot of. This should be the power cable, I think. Different kind of power cable. This one should be go inside to the camera, to here. And this one, the power adapter, I think this one is one. The power adapter. Different power port for different country. This is mainly the power, and this one should be the they say it's a gift. Actually, it should be the Wi-Fi antenna. So let's try to connect with the power cable. This is actually a quite good quality power cable, and they have a very safe airline type of the connector with a very good protection on the cable side. They got two connectors. I think it's meant to be one is for the power adapter. Another one you can connect to a different battery. Actually, it can be powered up by two different batteries. So let's see how to connect this. There's one on the one side. So I think it need to be connected like this. Oh, I think it need to be 1.5 on side. So another half should be on the upside. Yeah. And it's got a self cam inside, so you cannot easily pull it out. Unless you pull it here, you can pull it out. So this side connect to the power adapter. Let's put the cable aside. This here is turning on already, and it is flashing. This can be repaired. I think I need to set the Wi-Fi first. Let's pin the camera close. The camera connect to the network. camera. So you can see when I'm moving, the viewfinder is moving. Actually, because the 2 pound focal length, so even I'm using a 55mm lens, it's quite actually the view of angle is quite narrow compared to the distance. It's only around a meter of the distance. So this is the view angle. Also, I found their iOS application using a lot of the CPU resource, because on my iPhone 10 it's working okay. But when I try to load it on my iPad mini, this is I think 4 years old or 5 years old model. It's not really control the camera. It's quite easily to just hand up and doesn't show anything or facing. The application is just facing on the application. So let's start insert the USB drive to the camera. So on a PC, it's a Dell computer. Actually, it's working. It's connected to the camera, you can see. If I'm moving the camera, it's a live view, is moving. So I just try to update the firmware here. So we choose the upgrade, and we browse the download firmware. Yeah. Okay. It said do not power off the camera. Reboot the camera after upgrade. So we got a process bar to upload the and the camera is actually doing its thing. The camera is upgrading its firmware. The camera is upgrading its firmware. We need to set the time again. So right now it's ready, I think. Let's see if the firmware is updated or not. Yes, update. The firmware is a new 0.86. The most newer one.